You've never seen a real dragon. No one has. And yet, from China to Wales, ancient Babylon to Mesoamerica, cultures that never met somehow imagined the same impossible beast. Scaled, winged, serpentine, dangerous, divine. Why? Because dragons weren't made up. They were built, stitched from fear, fire, nature, and memory, a species of the imagination. Picture this. You're a farmer 5,000 years ago. You dig up a dinosaur skull. Giant teeth, long snout, no paleontology degree, just questions. Or you find a python curled around a tree, watching. Nature was terrifying, and you needed something to name the fear. Enter the dragon, part snake, part god, part mystery. In China, dragons weren't monsters. They were power, the imperial emblem, the bringers of rain, rulers of water, ancestors of emperors. Long, scaled, and wingless, they danced through clouds and scrolls. Farmers prayed to them, emperors claimed descent from them, and unlike their Western cousins, these dragons didn't hoard, they blessed. Meanwhile, in medieval Europe, dragons were nightmares with wings. They guarded gold, ate livestock, and showed up just to ruin your day. Killing one made you a hero. Western dragons symbolized chaos, sin, and the exotic other. They weren't just beasts, they were metaphors for what scared you about the world. The dragon you picture probably has wings, breathes fire, and hates you personally. That's a European hybrid. Dinosaur body, bat wings, furnace throat. It evolved over centuries, shaped by Christian allegory and medieval art. Every scale drips with symbolism. Dragons weren't just real. They were morally wrong and killable. But dragons didn't only live in Europe or China. The ancient Sumerians had Mushusu, a scaled serpent with eagle feet and a lion's head. In India, the Vedic stories spoke of Vritra, a dragon who blocked rivers. The Norse told of Jörmungandr, the world serpent. Different bodies, same fear, same awe. Humans see patterns. The dragon is a pattern, a universal one. Long body like a snake, claws like a bird, horns like a goat, fire like destruction, sky like divinity. It's as if every culture assembled the same beast from their worst fears and wildest dreams. Convergence, not coincidence. And let's not forget teeth. The kind of teeth that remind you you're edible. Predators like lions and crocodiles were hard to forget and harder to beat. The dragon combines them all. The stealth of a snake, the power of a bear, the flame of hell. It's the ultimate apex predator. In mythology, dragons always guard something. Gold, virgins, knowledge, paradise. They're not obstacles, they're gatekeepers. Slay the dragon and you earn access to something sacred. In this way, the dragon becomes a test, not of strength, but of worth. You don't just beat the beast, you earn the story. Sometimes it's not about slaying the dragon. It's about finding a way to live with it. In Japan, dragons are seen as river gods, while in Mesoamerica, dragons are both a serpent and a savior. Here, dragons symbolize balance, not chaos. The wild isn't evil, it's sacred. What makes dragons stick isn't just fear, it's respect. They're beautiful in a way few monsters are. Gliding across skies, curling through myths, erupting from the edge of maps. Even when we cast them as villains, we paint them with awe. They're not just dangerous, they're majestic, terrible, but elegant. Maps used to say, "Here be dragons." Not literally. Those exact words appear only once. But the idea held. Where knowledge ends, imagination begins. Dragons are shorthand for the unknown, the unexplored. When ancient sailors looked at empty sea, they filled it with teeth. The ocean wasn't empty. It was waiting. Dragons thrive in mystery. They live in volcanoes, caves, deep forests, bottomless lakes, places where nature doesn't explain itself. These aren't habitats, they're narrative pressure cookers. When something dangerous hides in darkness, the human brain gives it wings, fangs, and a motive. The dragon isn't real, but the fear is. In early Christian Europe, dragons were sin incarnate. Pagan gods, foreign kings, even temptation itself could wear dragon skin. That's why saints always killed them. Not for glory, but for theology. St. George didn't just kill a beast, he purified a landscape. The dragon became propaganda, a monster with morals. In contrast, the East saw dragons as wise. In Chinese stories, dragons have personalities. They grant rain or withhold it. They're scholars, kings, and tricksters. You respect them, not because they'll eat you, but because they might teach you. To meet a dragon wasn't a death sentence, it was a consultation. Why the split? Geography helps. Europe battled wolves, drought, fire, fear shaped their dragons. China battled floods, snakes, and monsoons. Their dragons had gills. Culture bends monsters into mirrors. Dragons became whatever a society feared or revered most. The serpent is a blank template. The teeth and wings come later. And there's biology. Humans have snake detection hardwired into their brains. We react faster to serpents than to anything else. Add big eyes, claws, wings, and we get something primal, something that stares into our ancient brainstem and whispers, "Run." The dragon is evolution's favorite hallucination. Even today, dragons survive because they adapt. In Tolkien, they're hoarders. In Game of Thrones, they're weapons. In anime, mentors or pets. They shapeshift with media, clinging to whatever we find dangerous, awe-inspiring, or cool. Dragons don't go extinct. They rebrand, from myth to fantasy to metaphor. Kids draw dragons before they draw houses. They curl across notebooks, breathing fire over stick figures. Ask a 5-year-old to imagine danger, and odds are it's scaly. Why? Because dragons are creative freedom with teeth. No rules, just wings. You don't need to teach dragons. We invent them naturally. In psychology, dragons often represent the shadow. Carl Jung saw them as internal beasts, your fears, flaws, impulses. Slay the dragon and you master yourself. Not every battle is external. Sometimes the cave is your own mind, and the horde is self-awareness. Symbolism with scales. In dreams, dragons rarely speak. They chase, burn, fly. But they don't explain. That's their job, to be unspoken things with form. Dragons carry emotion, rage, desire, envy, hunger. You can't reason with them, but you can learn from them. Sometimes the lesson is simply, you're still afraid. Not all dragons are evil. Not all are good. But all are meaningful. The dragon you believe in tells others what you fear, respect, or hope to control. Do you want to slay it? Ride it? Worship it? Each choice reveals your worldview. Monsters are shaped by culture. And by you. Even science wasn't immune. In the 1600s, European scholars still debated whether dragons were real. Fossils of whales, dinosaurs, and giant lizards got misfiled under dragon bones. Museums displayed them. Doctors ground them into medicine. Myth bled into early science, and no one really wanted to correct it. In many stories, the dragon dies, but in culture, it never does. It reincarnates in flags, brands, stadium mascots, tattoos. It sells soda and fear. It guards banks and breathes fire in fairy tales. A dragon is danger made decorative, still wild, just wearing a leash. Every time humanity invents a new frontier, the dragon returns. It hides in cyberspace, stalks through climate change, curls inside AI. The beast mutates. What once guarded treasure now guards secrets. Myths adapt, but the structure holds. Fear, mystery, transformation. The dragon endures because fear evolves too. You might not believe in dragons, but your ancestors did. So did theirs. Across mountains and oceans, languages and ages. That kind of agreement isn't casual. It's cultural gravity. You don't need dragons to be real for them to matter. They were never beasts. They were reflections. In the end, dragons explain what logic won't. The dragon is fear you can name, power you can draw, chaos you can maybe, just maybe, tame. It's imagination with teeth. We invented them not because they existed, but because they should have. The world made more sense with dragons in it. So why do dragons appear everywhere? Because humans everywhere needed them. Needed something big, terrible, beautiful, sacred, and strange to guard the border between what we know and what we don't. Not gods, not animals, something in between. Dragons weren't created, they surfaced. We keep drawing them, writing them, slaying them, loving them. Dragons are myths with perfect staying power. They aren't real, but they are true. They live in folklore, religion, poetry, nightmares, and games. Wherever humans imagine danger or transcendence, a dragon eventually shows up to guard it. So light your fire, sharpen your sword, or bow your head. Whether you face your dragons or follow them, they're not going anywhere. Not while we still fear the dark and long for the sky. Some truths wear scales. If you want more, you know where to find them.